No, boy. Explosions first. Questions later. So today we're talking about the bomb again. The big bad bomb, our Bomb King. And whether or not he has fallen off of his throne. Because in OB48, the patch that's currently on the PTS, although it's down. And I apologize to everybody that waited to see my stream today. But the public test server did go down and never came back up again in time for me to stream. But in OB48 and on the public test server, Bomb King has seen several nerfs. Actually 3. Firstly, to his maximum health, taking him from 2,500 to 2,400. He also has his sticky bombs having an increased refire rate going from 0.6 to 0.7 seconds. This one actually is really interesting because the way you usually play Bomb King is to throw out one bomb, then you wait until it gets to the range, blow it up, throw out another and keep doing that rapid fire. And the thing is, the time that it takes for your sticky bomb to travel usually isn't too far off of that 0.6, 0.7 mark anyway. So how much of an impact it'll have on the DPS, I'm not entirely sure. It might only really impact the people that are still using the legendary that gives you extra damage on every sticky bomb you attach to somebody that might be firing them all together. And I guess it does to some degree nerf putting down all your bombs in a stack, in a trap, or at least quickly to put them down ready for somebody to come through a door or something. The next big one is a change to his legendary card, Accelerant. This is the card that almost everybody uses at the moment. And currently in OB47, it gives you knockback of 60%. Now this has been reduced in OB48 to 50%. What it actually equates to in game is less height as you're going up into the air, and because you get less height, you also get less distance. I think that this is the biggest kicker in the whole of his nerfs. The health is only 100 and can be made up with cards in Bomb King's deck already, so it's not a massive deal. It's not the biggest loss to Bomb King, but his movement is kind of what's been making him extremely powerful in these current matchups, and the combination of him being able to flank, having that big HP, the big health ball, being able to basically spam stuns left, right and center, and having quite a big game-changing ultimate if used correctly, meant that Bomb King saw a close to top spot in the meta in the last patch. And in OB46 he was pretty insane, but that was because of his damage radius on his sticky bombs, which was also pretty big. That went alongside all of the other things, all the utility that Bomb King has. Now going back to the Accelerant, it mainly hurts you trying to get onto cover above you. So say on Stone Keep, you're trying to jump over a wall onto the other side. If you imagine you're attacking the point, on either side there's a doorway, an archway, and a wall going around the edge. And if you try and jump over that wall, before you could go really high up and jump over the wall and come down again and attack people. Now it's a bit harder to do that because you're not getting as high as you did before. One of the things that's interesting is that the sticky jump, which I showed off before, where it's like the basic pogoing in the air to give you extra distance and basically keep you at the maximum height for longer. And that basically means that you travel further. And I showed that off in another video, gave a bit of a tutorial of that, and that still works in the game. And it could be interesting to see whether or not some of the jumps that existed in OB47 now carry over, and you have to do with these sticky jumps, and to be honest, are pretty damn fun. So having those in the game as a feature, I mean, I'm not all against that, and it has a downside because it hurts you, but also at the same time you get the style points, you get those MLG points, 10 out of 10 on the Bomb King. The thing is, although the escape and the flank potential has been cut a little bit, at the end of the day, the biggest part about Bomb King was still the stuns and the utility of the Grumpy Bomb and your ultimate, and also the Poppy Bomb sometimes knocking people back, and the control that that can bring to the games. And in that sense, he is still very potent, and I think perhaps in the previous patches, he only really came to light because of how overpowered he was, but a lot of better players started picking up Bomb King, and I guess he sort of got more into the meta. We saw some great players like Digidoge that are just generally amazing on the Bomb King. For me, he's probably one of the most fun champions to play in the game currently, and it's interesting mainly because of how his movement works, also the style points, and just the ridiculousness of doing those sticky bomb jumps, which you only need to do slightly, you don't need to do it all the time, like you only need to do it if you're missing a jump or if you need to get a bit further. And also just generally the way he attacks and how you have to sort of get the rhythm right on blowing up your bombs, making sure that you either sticky somebody or get very close to them if you think the sticky's gonna miss, and also just basically spamming those grumpy bombs onto a point is pretty funny because you're going with the physics of the game and you have to try and work out the drop and not stick your Grumpy Bomb onto something, which I do a lot. I think there's a lot of failed Grumpy Bombs in a lot of my footage that I've showed off. I know a lot of people did call for Bomb King to be nerfed as well, and I think actually on the side of a player playing against the Bomb King, it can be annoying because you don't really see a trail of the projectiles coming towards you. Sometimes you don't see anything, and it's annoying to get those stickies on you and then just like instantly blow up. But these changes are definitely going to make him easier to play against and probably bring him back in line with all the rest of the champions. I don't think he's been dethroned this patch, but he's definitely not as ridiculous as he was in OB46 and probably not as prevalent in games as he was in OB47. Anyway, be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all next time. Give your king a big hug.